Okay, let's see. This is Warp Room 3. We got 5 stages to deal with. I think we can, I'm pretty sure we can clear the entire Warp Room in one sitting. I'm gonna go up to Tiny Tiger. Let's see, today is only a few days after Mother's Day. And Mother's Day is not a holiday. I particularly, emulator. Mother's Day is not a holiday I particularly enjoy celebrating. As of late. Let's see what to say. This is plant food. The yellow gem is in this stage. Plant food is, I think, the one stage that my mother could not beat. She pretty much 100% at the rest of the game, with the exception of this one stage. She couldn't figure out how to beat it. So she went as far as, because she was the gamer in our family, and she went as far as to buy the Prima Games strategy guide for Crash Bandicoot 2. And she reads through the book. Oh my goodness. Screwed it up. Yeah, okay. She reads through this guide to see if there's anything else in the game that she missed, only to then realize that everything that the game had to offer she pretty much got. Okay. I just need to zoom past that. And I think I got the gem. Okay, cool. So that's the gem. So we can drop off. We can drop off. We can drop off and start it again, and we can continue the stage as normal. But she opens up this guide. The guide has nothing new in there for her except for the yellow gem. She's like, oh, well, that was a waste of time. But she decides to keep the guide because she figures that at some point me or my sister may decide to play the game. And, you know, we may need the guide more than she does. So she doesn't return the book. So at some point, I don't think I missed any boxes. I'm pretty sure I got the boxes. But I start playing the game. And, I deleted her save file. This is before I knew what the word overwrite meant, because when you delete a save file in Crash 2, it asks you if you want to overwrite a save file. And me not knowing what that meant, I went and I deleted it. So I do this, and I'm kind of sitting in silence because the picture that was my mom's save file has been replaced by, you know, my save file. And I think I'm in the living room where this is taking place, and I asked my father, because my father was, I think he was working on like a lamp or something, like changing a light bulb in the living room. And I asked him, I say, Dad? And he's like, yeah. And you know, he's looking at the lamp, and I'm staring straight ahead, like frozen at the TV. I'm like, what does the word overwrite mean? And he's like, overwrite? I said, yeah, like you overwrite something. And he's like, oh, that. He says, he's like, that just means that you replace something that exists with something else. And I'm sitting in silence, and I'm just kind of thinking, I'm like, replace it with something else that exists. And then my heart rate starts to increase, and I start hyperventilating because I just deleted my mom's save file, and I don't know the next time she's gonna try and play this game. And I said, oh, okay, thanks. And he's like, yeah, no problem. And he, you know, changes his light bulb and he walks off someplace. So then I devoted all of my future, you know, gaming sessions to, like, basically completing my mother's save file back to the way it was. And I ended up doing this, you know, I forget how long it took me, but that's how I ended up completing Crash Bandicoot 2 100%. Is by going through the game and getting everything in the game quickly before my mother could find out. Okay. And, you know, once I did that, you know, I went through, got everything, ignored the plant food yellow gem that you see here. But once I went and I did that, I'm like, whew, okay, great. Then I go and I, you know, save the game, put it down, and move on to something else, move on to some other game, move on to some other activity, you know. And, you know, I go on with life. at some point, you know, I don't know how much time passed, but at some point, you know, I'm doing whatever, and my mother walks into the room that I'm in, and she's like, "Hey, SNK, can you come here for a second?" she's like, I got a question for you. I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" And she's like, I was playing. She's like, I turned on the PlayStation, and I was going to play, you know, Crash 2. She was like, "Did you delete my?" She's like, "Did you delete my save file?" And you know, I'm quiet. I'm like, how did she know? You know? Ugh. It's okay. We got this. Ugh. You know, I'm like, oh my God. How did she? Okay. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I really messed that up. But you know, I'm like, oh my God, how does she know? And it's like, I didn't exactly have an explanation ready. Like, I didn't rehearse it. So I'm just like, okay, so here's what happened. And she's like, just like, she's got the controller in her hand and she's just quietly listening. And I'm like, I'm like, so I accidentally deleted your save file. I didn't know what the word overwrite meant, blah, blah, blah. So I went into the game and I got everything that you got in the game, the way that you got it, except the yellow gem. And, you know, that's what happened. And she's like, oh, okay. You know, she's like not bothered by it at all, which I'm like oddly confused by. I'm like, why is she not more angry about this? You know? And she's like, because the save file has your name on it. She's like, because the save file has your name on it. But I'm like, I know my save file was, you know, in this spot. So that's why I was curious. I was like, did he delete my save file? And I'm quiet because I'm like, oh, you know, oh my God, what is going on with me today? Because it never occurred to me to change my name to whatever she had her name as, you know. But she wasn't bothered by it. She was actually more surprised that I was able to complete the game as fast as I did, you know, in such a short amount of time. Okay, I got it. She was actually surprised that I was able to complete the game as fast as I did in such a short amount. All right, gosh. Whew. Okay. 1 second, I gotta shut up. All right, good. And then this just rides down the elevator, and then that'll be good. Yeah. So she was more surprised than angry. As she wasn't angry at all. Oh my God. She wasn't angry at all. You know. You know. And I'm just not thinking. Oh my God. Ugh. All right, now we can die. I've really been dropping it. But yeah, she wasn't upset. She was amused. She was amused more than anything. You know, but that's the little Crash 2 story I had, you know, that ended up being that ended up, I guess, being the start of me, you know, having like an addiction to completing games, you know, 100%. Yeah, as I said, gosh, I'm just man, I don't know, I'm not feeling it today, you know. I guess mentally I'm just not there. But like I said, you know, a couple days after Mother's Day, oh, I'm so glad I made that one. What do we do on Mother's Day? Father, sister, and I, we went out to eat. Yeah, we went out to eat. The restaurant that we went to, it was some not a diner, you know, but it was a sit-in restaurant. In this era, it's a restaurant that, you know, started opening back up fully. So, you know, of course, everything's been set so that you have like they had like these plastic kind of veils, you know, to cover individual sections of tables, you know, so that I guess people wouldn't be breathing on each other, you know. They had like little signs that when you talk to the waitresses, or that you please talk to the waitresses with your masks on, whenever they show up at the table, that kind of deal. There was a particularly I guess rude encounter where I guess this lady had she had like 4 kids, and she's trying to round up the kids, and you have the lady that's bringing people to their tables whenever a spot opens up. She everybody else, she's very nice, very cordial to them, but this lady, who, let's say that the lady did not quite look like the waitress, she's got her kids, and the lady was just particularly rude with her because she's in the when you walk into a building, there's a what is it called, a vestibule, and she's like in the vestibule getting her kid. Oh, that's right, you got to spin these at the fan. She's in the vestibule getting her kids together, and I guess the lady called the employee called her name. It has to, like, I say employee, but it had to either been the owner or the owner's wife. But I'm gonna assume, whoa, the owner's yeah. The owner's wife goes and she calls the name, but she doesn't answer because she's in the vestibule with her kids. And the waitress then gets, I guess, irritated, like visibly irritated, like, I called you, but I didn't get an answer. And then the lady's like, the mother is like, oh, I'm sorry, I was trying to get them together. And the woman walks away, and she does the whole kind of irritated, shaking her head, that kind of deal. Which way is the right way I'm supposed to be going here? I think I'm supposed to go to the right. But she kind of throws her hands up, shakes her head, goes back to behind the counter. At some point the woman's youngest kid, oh, whoops. At some point the woman's youngest kid walks in because she's ready to go, and the lady then proceeds to point to whatever open table it is that she intended for that family to go to. And the little girl's like, oh, okay. So the mom comes in with the other 3 kids, and the youngest one the mom's waiting for the employee to pop back up and direct her to the table. And the little girl's like, oh, she said we can go here. And the mom looks at where the little girl is pointing. She says, okay, but she's still waiting for the employee to confirm, where it is that they're supposed to go. And just the owner's wife's, I'm assuming, response to it was very rude compared to her responses with her other guests. She would walk them to their tables, or she would have somebody walk them to their tables, and she wasn't particularly stuffed with new customers that showed up or anything. It's just very rude behavior, that I noticed, and I think my father noticed at the time. Oh gosh, I really hope I'm not rambling as I'm doing this. Just little things, I guess, that we can skip that, but not this.
Crash! Thank goodness. I hacked into Cortex's computer and found detailed schematics for an improved Cortex vortex and a suspicious-looking space station. I'm not sure, but Cortex might be trying.
All right, so Coco is on the case. So this next one's Bear Down. This is like the second of 3, I guess, bear riding, or stages that involve you riding a bear. Okay. Yeah, but that's just a little quirk thing that my father and I noticed. It was just particularly rude. I think I was more sensitive to it because I saw that she was a mother. And it looked like it was just her and the kids. Like, I didn't see dad or anything anywhere. So just something that particularly picked up on. Let's see. What was the other thing we did? We went and we got coffee. We were out for a while. And I think before we went back home, we got some coffee, but the coffee was terrible. We went to a Dunkin' Donuts. Okay. And I gotta start that over. And I don't know if I hit a checkpoint. But we get a coffee, and I think I just got like a simple iced coffee with cream and sugar, that kind of deal. But the coffee tasted like mud. It was like watered down, and you know, very, very. Oh gosh, I screwed it up again. Ugh. It wasn't what you would call smooth. You know, it wasn't a particularly good experience. My sister got something called. Oh my God, I'm just dropping it. I'm just dropping it. Dropping it today. My sister gets something called a mango nata or something with mango in it, which I wasn't interested. Oh my God. Let me shut up for a second. Oh, it's like magic. I gotta work on my commentary when I play. Alright, so my sister gets some drink that involves mango. And it's like some kind of smoothie or coffee drink that's got some, you know, blended. Good God, the speed kicked up. It's some kind of blended drink that I'm gonna jump that and run under here. It's some kind of drink that has fruit in it. But when she gets the drink is missing like an inch off the top, right? And my sister stares at it after my father hands it to her, and she, you know, basically is like, is this supposed to look like this? Yada yada yada. And we go in before we take the drink. You know, we knock back on because we're like in the drive-thru, and we okay, there we go. Yeah, the employee hands us the drink. They close the drive-thru window. We knock back on the window. The person opens up, and you know, blah blah blah. We ordered this drink. It's got like an inch off the top. Is it supposed to look like that? And the employee kind of just like either they stare at her or they just kind of stare into space, and you know, they don't say anything. And their response is eventually, you know, oh, I don't know. I didn't make it. You know, and my sister's like, well, I know you didn't make it because, you know, you walked back off into the distance and brought it over. And she's like, what I'm asking is, or what I thought you'd be able to do is, you know, right, Road to Ruin. She's like, what I thought you could do is like, can you get the person who did make it and have them answer? Real quick, you can get this in one shot. I don't know if I'll be able to do it in one shot. It's not that. You gotta slide, jump, and then spin. Whoa, that is not. Yeah, that was way off. What you want to do is you wanna go out here to this platform, and you wanna slide, jump, and then spin, and you should be able to make it over to the left side where there's a switch crate, and there's like a bunch of boxes that you need to hit. If you can do this, then you know, just makes life ooh, very nice. Then it makes life a little easier. Oh gosh. How do I do this? One second. Let me save a state real quick. I'm gonna save a state. I didn't expect to hit that on the first shot. Excuse me. Okay. Whoa. And then there's like a platform that's like out. Yeah, there's there. And then there's this. But you can't spin these because I think there's a TNT. Is there a TNT in this? Maybe not. Nope, no TNT. Oh my, yeah, there's a TNT. Never mind. There is a TNT. Essentially, you know, the employee's like, oh, you know, I didn't make it, and we're like, no stuff, you didn't make it. Can you get the person who did make it and maybe have them answer? The short answer is that basically after, you know, let me think. How do I do this? You just slide over it. After that comedy scene is over with, the answer is basically yes, that's what it's supposed to be. I think what they said was that the drink is usually made with ice cream, and the ice cream makes the drink thicker, and you know, that's what would put the additional inch of drink in the cup. But I guess they ran out of ice cream, and you know, it is what it is. You know, it was just you know, just a little bizarre, you know. And me being, you know, because I've done food service, you know, myself as one of my first jobs. Actually, I think my food service deal was, I was at a buffet. I didn't work at, oh, that's right, because I died. All right, well, I'll cut to that. But there's a clear gem that you got to get, and we're gonna come across here. Woo. Okay, but yeah, I've done food service myself, and it's like, usually I don't give people a hard time, you know, if they don't exactly know what it is that they're doing, or if they, you know, they need a little more time to, you know, work through something, because I've been there myself and I know what it's like, you know, to have an angry customer or an unhappy customer in your face and getting indignant with you. Sorry about that. I live on a busy street, and somebody's car was on fire. And okay, so we jump here. They're okay, but let's see. I don't know if the microphone picked it up, but you know, somebody's car was on fire, looked like a fireball, and you know, just streaking down the street. The person is okay. When I went outside, the fire department had already hosed down the vehicle. So what is this? You gotta, yeah, jump here and then just tag all of the so we're gonna try again, and then we're gonna tag all of the switch crates in sequence. But yeah, the you know, the fire department had already hosed it down, or they were in the process of hosing it down. Maybe had like one or two police vehicles out already, and I think there was a tow truck waiting to take the car away. And at that point, I think they were the owner, I guess, of the vehicle showed up, and they're answering questions. You know, I guess telling the authorities what happened. You know, I'm like, you get stuff like that sometimes that happens in front of my in front of my home. You know, what? At some point we got some guy walking down the street, and he's like naked. Well, maybe not naked. I think he had on his boxers and he had on his glasses. But the you know, the drivers are like driving down the street with him, slowly trying to figure out, you know, is he all right? Is he trying to do something he'll regret? You know, does he need some help? That kind of deal. Just random stuff like that will happen on occasion. So when it does happen, you know, when it is something like the latter, you know, just kind of happy that you woke up in your right mind, you know. Let's see. I still need to come back here because I screwed up and I died. Oh, yeah. I died before hitting the skull path, so I got to come back and do that. And unfortunately, I forgot what I was talking about. Okay. It's the emulator being crazy. Alright, so this is the box gem, which normally we wouldn't be able to get because I'd have had to skip it. Alright. Now this is the skull path. And all you're doing here is just making a way through the stage without dying. I'm pretty sure I can time my jumps so that I don't get hit by this monkey. And go here and skip across. I don't think, yeah, there's no boxes here. It's just get to the end of the stage, or the end of the path, because it's not the kind of stage that has a warp room at the end of it. What I always thought was interesting is that Crash goes into a different animation when he's on these platforms that will slide him around. That's not something that they carried over. It's not something that they carried over to the remake. Okay. Now that we have righted our mistake, last stage already, we're gonna do Unbearable. Unbearable for me was my equivalent of my mother's plant food deal. This is the stage that when I was first going through Crash Bandicoot, I could not beat. I recall not being able to get through Unbearable, and not being able to get the box gem in Unbearable, and not being able to beat Engine. I couldn't for the life of me figure out how to beat Engine. I'll talk about that, I guess, when I do the 4th warp room. But for Unbearable, my own story with Unbearable was that I just couldn't beat it. It was too hard. It was like, if there was ever a stage that was gonna make me rage and get upset and cry about it, it was probably going to be Unbearable. I remember I would play it for hours. I would spend like whole sessions just, trying to finish the stage, and I couldn't. Oh gosh. And I couldn't get through the, what is it, the skull path? Not even a skull path. It's just a hidden path of the stage. And I remember it being time for me to go to bed, and I was just really upset because I couldn't get through the stage. And my father offered to when that bear falls down here, you just want to jump into the hole with it, and you'll get taken to a very difficult part of the stage, or at least for me, it was difficult at the time. My father offered to beat this area for me, and he, I said okay. So I ended up going to sleep. I wanted to see, I wanted to watch my father beat it so I could see how he got through it. But I wake up the next morning, and I'm sure it's probably a weekend at this point, because like if I'm playing it for 2 days in a row, then yeah, it would have been on a weekend. But I go and I say, I go and I ask my mom, because I think my father had work that day, and I'm like, hey, did he beat the stage? And my mom's like, I don't think he did, but what he did do, he basically had been going through it so much he maxed out my lives. There's a part here where you can farm. Whoops! Wow, what's happening here? There's a part here where you can farm lives because it's very difficult to get through that part. I don't think I hit a checkpoint either. Yeah, there's a checkpoint in the stage, I think. I think that's why you're able to farm the lives, but it's a hard part. But my mom's like, no, he didn't get through it, but he was able to. I think he got 99 lives for you. And I said, oh, okay, great. And the next time I get on to play this stage, I ended up losing all 99 lives and getting a game over. And I lost my mind. I was just like, come on. There we go. Sometimes it just doesn't happen the way you want it to. Eventually I got it done. It's one of those deals where it's like you'll spend one day like just trying your hardest to get through something and you just can't get through it, so you end up taking a break from it, and then you'll come back like at your next session or like the next week or whatever, but then you'll come back to it and yeah, I accidentally moved. I was supposed to crouch. But you'll end up coming back to that part and you'll beat it like on the first try. I had something bizarre like that happen when I played there was another game. I think it might have been Spyro 2. I think it was like Spyro 2. And in Spyro the Dragon 2, which is like Ripto's Rage, okay, there's I think the second boss in that game. Requires you to like, I think he like either chases you around, and it's like once he finishes chasing you around, he throws like these objects on the field, and what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to knock the objects that the boss puts on the field back at the boss. And I could not figure out what to do during that. Oh my god, I could not figure out what to do during that part. Okay, and I spent hours. Oh my god. My positioning is off. But I can't figure out what to do during this part. It takes me hours to figure it out. and you're just generally upset. As a kid, you're just mad. You're just like, you're like, I want to play the game, but I just can't get through this part. I don't know what's going on. Okay. So I go to sleep like that night, right? And this would have been during a time when I could only play video games like on the weekend, and I'd have to wait an entire week. Okay. But at some point during the course of the next week, I had some dream that I was, someplace with some person. And I asked this person in my dream, I was like, blah, 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 I'm playing this game. I can't figure out how to beat this game. And the person in my dream tells me, oh, well, I have that game. Well, aren't you supposed to, blah, blah, blah. Basically, the person tells me the solution, And in my dream, because, like, this really happened. Like, I really had a dream of this happening, And it's like in this dream, I'm looking at the person like, what are you talking about? And the person in my dream responds, yeah, because I blah, blah, blah. I couldn't get past that part. And then, I did this, basically the solution to the boss fight. And I basically said, well, I'll go and I'll try it myself and see if it works. And then the dream ends and I wake up, right? And, it's some point during the week, so I can't immediately try it. But, the weekend comes and I end up trying to play, that boss stage again. And I tried doing the solution that I remembered being told about in my, in my dream. And, lo and behold, the solution works. Oh yeah, these. 1, 2. Lo and behold, the solution works in the dream. And as a kid, I'm stunned because I'm like, I didn't actually ask anybody how to, get past this part in the game. I just had a dream about, being told what the solution was. I don't know if it was like just frustration at, here, kill him. So what was I saying? I think I was saying, I had no recollection of actually asking anybody how to beat, the part in the game that I was having trouble with. It's just your brain, like, just after being frustrated for so long, your brain gets a chance to cool down, and then when it cools down, your brain kind of, just pieces together on its own, what the answer to your problem is. I think it's probably, it may not have been the only time I've had that happen. Like, I might have had that happen, doing something else in life. But that's definitely like the first instance I remember it happening. Hey, got that in one shot. That's definitely the first instance of, me having an issue with something in reality, and then having a dream about the solution, and then putting the solution that I found in my dream to practice in reality and it working out. What's this next part? There's a bear here, and then there's the polar part, and then polar, you gotta ride polar. You have to ride polar to the end of the stage, and you have to go back and touch polar. Okay, so this next one is polar, and you ride polar, and notice how the camera zooms out when you're moving. Oh, yeah, don't run into those. Hit these. Okay. Messed that up. Like, well, even Unbearable, like, how many times did it take me to get through Unbearable this time? Like five times? I might have died like 5 times, I think. Around that many. So it's like a very far cry from when I originally tried going, originally tried going through the stage. Yeah, there are no boxes there. What I do need to do is you need to make sure that you go over here and collect the gem. Oh my god. I'm dropping it. Okay. So I missed a box somewhere. Okay, what you want to do is you want to come back the way you came, touch Polar, and Polar takes you to a hidden stage. I missed a box somewhere, huh? What is this? Totally... Oh, Totally Bear. Yeah, there's Totally Bear and then Totally Fly. Ugh. Alright, Totally Bear is one of 2 nighttime stages in the game. I'm pretty sure Totally Bear, I just remember Totally Bear being it was cool because it took place at night. And then Crash 2, you know, oh gosh. It was cool because it was at night, and like, you know, night just gives off a different atmosphere than the daytime stages. I don't recall it being very difficult per se. You know, just watch the you know, the bundles of boxes of 4s. There we go. And if you didn't know how to do the little dash jump while on Polar, this is where you get in all your practice. You want me to come over here? There's a set of boxes that are on the left side that I think will mess me up. So I'll see if I run into that. Oh. Hey. Ah! That's what I was talking about. Yeah, that. Where you have to jump over like the little pool of water. So, and yeah, and then once I figured out that I missed it, then I end up missing the stack of boxes over the long jump is how it usually goes. This time I got it though. All right, that's my checkpoint. Oh, and then the speed just kicked up. Oh gosh. And then we're probably gonna get another speed boost. Oh, yep. Missed one. Alright. Hit this and way over here. That's good. Chill. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jump, jump. Another long jump. That's it. See, I find Totally Bear to be much more of a fun stage. I really wish that they had done more nighttime stages like this, you know. But because there's only 2 of them, it makes them like extremely novel. You know, no crystal, just a gem. Now if I had gotten everything in one shot, next would be Tiny? Yeah, next would be Tiny. So I'm gonna go back and get the box gem for Unbearable, and then I'll keep it moving.
Crash, my boy, you are more than halfway there. But I'm sure you've noticed that things are getting harder. The last 10 crystals will be the hardest to gather, and my our enemies will be sending their strongest forces to thwart you. I'll contact you again when you have completed the next one.
Okay. So now that should be everything in Warp Room 3. Plant food, sewer later, bear down, road to ruin, and Unbearable. Last is Tiny, and then I'll let you guys go. Usually when I do stuff like Crash videos, it is because, you know, I'm in the process of either doing a new game, doing a new series, or working on editing videos, and I just needed something to go put out. This time I just wasn't feeling very right, so I decided to put Pokemon Snap down for a second. New Pokemon Snap down for a second. And play something that I know I would immediately enjoy. I will play this game to completion. Just don't expect it to... If you like it, you know, I'm not going to be putting it out with any kind of regularity. It's going to be extremely casual. there's that. I have some Steam games that I'm looking forward to maybe trying to play if I can get them to work well with my Switch Pro controller. Okay, so what I need to do here is I need to... Whoa! Oh, no, you're not gonna... Oh, gosh. Alright, there we go. I have some Steam games that I'm looking to play. I still gotta finish new Pokemon Snap. At some point, I'm gonna go back to the Assassin's Creed series and continue on with those games. Still working on trying to get a PlayStation 5 so I can play those games whenever they come out. I missed out on Resident Evil 8. Oh, that's right. No more. He's not gonna bother me anymore. All right. That's it for Warp Room 3. So this will be part 3 of Crash Bandicoot 2. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I didn't rant too much. I'll find out when I edit. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like. Please follow the channel. If you continue to like my videos, please follow the channel. Not just if it's a one-off. I will see you guys soon in some other video or some other series. So you guys have a good day. Have a good day. I hope you guys have a nice Mother's Day. And I'll see you guys later.